How financial literacy changes things. All right. Saying that we're live, my queen.
Oh, we are.
We
All
are.
right, guys. It's Night Out Talk. Angel, go ahead and introduce us real quick.
Listen, guys. Okay. It's Thursday. I know that you guys are pressing to get to Friday. The reason some people is pressing to get to Friday because of that payday, that Mayday, right? But tonight is your girl, Angel White, and Queen Miss Z de Jesus. We're coming to you today. We're going to talk about something that is like a hot topic. It's been a hot topic lately.
Girl.
Topic. What's the topic, Z?
Today we're talking about financial literacy and change. And we're going to have a topic that it's about to go in your soul. So I suggest you guys take some notes because today we're going to go ham. And if you don't understand what that means we're going to have valuable information that you don't want to miss. So you want to notate it, not only for yourself, but your friends and family, because the information we're about to go ahead and give you all right now, it's not exclusive, but it is because people don't know about it. So it's exclusive information. And I'm over here getting my stuff together. You know why? Because I'm even going to use my board today. That's what I'm going to do. So you guys prepare. So tell me your story, Angel, like before. Tell me the story before financial literacy. What were your finances looking like?
So before financial literacy, I mean, it was ignorance, financial ignorance, right? And the thing is that a lot of us, we don't understand that we need certain things. Um, one of those things being credit. Another thing that I love to talk about is like a will. So for me, to be honest, I really didn't necessarily need credit restoration, but what I definitely still needed was just those identity monitoring, having my identity covered, protected, having that will and that trust set in place. But when it does come to credit, I didn't know anything about it. I really truly didn't know anything about it. I didn't know how it operated. I didn't know the reason why it was important. I didn't know the reason why people put so much emphasis on that 3-digit number. You know what I'm saying? Um, until I got down here to Florida and I saw how so many people, they wanted to buy a home, but they couldn't buy that home. And the reason why typically is because of that 3-digit number. And so my life really before financial literacy was one of ignorance. I didn't know anything about it. And so now I know, how to be aware, what to look out for so that I can maintain my credit and continue to keep building it and continue to keep growing it. Because I didn't know.
Okay, so when you say how to be aware, I mean, I remember when I was like 18 years old, I was very aware of my money, how much money I had to spend that weekend. I mean, weren't you aware?
Of course, because we had back then we were young and we were getting what allowances and all that stuff like that. So we know about the money and how when it comes in, but you know how it goes, especially those high school days, early college days. They're gonna give you that credit card, and once they give you that credit card, we think it's free money, but there's really no such thing as free money.
I remember thinking it was free money too. I'm not gonna lie.
And I think
I literally thought it was free money, and I was so excited.
So
I honestly thought the credit cards, you would max them out, and then every month is like a loan. You just got to pay the minimum. You know, the $25 minimum. That's what I would pay. I mean, that's what I thought they were. My mom never even
that free money, like
credit card. Ever than I knew her. I don't think so. Not that I knew of. I never even knew credit existed. I thought credit cards was for people to get free money. You work, you get free money, and then you make payments every month. But little did I know, every time I made that $25 payment, the next month, it's like, wow. The, it really didn't go down that much. I don't know why, but The balance is kind of the same. I don't understand. So financial literacy, and I'm gonna try to put this at an angle that y'all can see. I'm gonna put my light down for a second. Financial literacy, what they teach us, I'm gonna be real with you guys. They don't teach us anything.
Oh, I got a theory. I have a theory. I was telling somebody about this today. I think that there's I guess the word that I used, and when I said it at first, right? I was like, I have a conspiracy theory. And I was like, no, I don't want to say conspiracy. But then I started to explain my point. And the guy that I was talking to was actually one of my networking partners. He was like, no, he was like, you do have a good conspiracy theory. So this is it, guys. And if you guys agree with me, let me know. So here's the deal. I believe, and I'm sorry, I'm just going on our page to see, set this up for our visitors. I believe that there's a reason. First of all, I believe that we all need to be educated in credit, period. I don't think that it should be optional. I think it's something that needs to be required. Okay. When I'm talking about required, I mean, like, we need to be learning about financial literacy, credit, wills and trusts, that kind of stuff. We need to learn about that in at least high school. But I would say if we want to be an advanced society, like how we say that we are, we should learn this in middle school. So here's my theory. And if you guys agree with me, let me know. I believe that they keep this kind of information from us for a reason. Imagine if, as a middle schooler, 13 years old, you were required to learn about your credit. Meaning you knew that you weren't supposed to go over 30%, meaning that you knew that credit cards is not free money, like how Z and I thought, right? And imagine if we knew about interest rates and how interest rates, they cost a lot of money, right? If we knew about that in middle school, if we knew about that in high school, then when we get to college, they can't just have these credit card tables and we'll be blindly going to them. Mm-hmm. And then thinking it's free money. So what happens? We end up paying billions of dollars in overdraft fees. We end up paying billions of dollars in high interest rates. And who's making money off of that? The banks. But who's also depositing the money to keep the banks going? The people. So what happens? They're using our money when we deposit it, and then they're going to charge us on top of that more money when we can't pay the money that they lend it to us, or the high interest. I believe there's the reason why they keep us like that, so that we can stay ignorant, so we can stay broke, pretty much. So that's the reason why I love what we do. I love the financial literacy piece, because I really truly believe that if we knew about that importance of credit, that importance of having a will, protecting your loved ones' future, they wouldn't be able to take advantage of people's ignorance. So I don't know what you guys think.
Working in the financial industry, I see clients of all ages. I see clients in their 80s that get Social Security and cannot afford to pay rent. I see clients that do reverse mortgages, which means they're not going to leave their home that they worked hard all those years to their family or their children. What they're going to do is they're going to sell it to somebody so that somebody could give them money every month so they can be able to live, because they don't have enough retirement. It's crazy because when I look at people's income and I compare it to what they do, the people that are more financially stable are the ones that are business owners, because they define how much money they're going to make. They're not waiting on someone else to tell them how much they're worth.
Right.
Now, we're going to go over a couple things tonight. And me and Angel have been doing this for a couple years. And this is just information that we know a lot of people do not know, or a lot of people know, but don't know how to put it together. So I'm trying to make it thick so you guys can see. Angel, can you see this?
Yes, I can see the circle.
You can see the circle. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to, I don't know. I have to get a little closer. Turn off that glare. Is it glary?
No, not really a glare. At the bottom, you can see the light, but it says what credit score calculation, financial
Yes,
credit
ma'am.
score calculation.
All right. So we're gonna do a little credit score calculation. I'm trying to see if I can lower this a little bit because I'm only 5'4". But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and go over this, and we're gonna talk about our experiences and experiences that we've heard from our clients and also from our friends, our business partners, because this is something that's so important, and it's just crazy how a lot of people don't know. So credit score calculation, how is it calculated?
That's that
What do
semester.
we know? We know that the lowest score is 300. Now, if you have a 300, that's terrible. I'm just letting you know. It's just terrible. High score, 850, right?
850 credit strong.
This is what you want to go for. That's perfect credit. But how did we calculate this? Angel, tell me, what's the first calculation? How do they calculate this?
First calculation. Let's look at this thing on the board as a pizza, right? If you want to get the biggest piece of the pizza pie of credit, you're going to want to go for that payment history. That's 35% of the credit score, right? So payment history, paying your credit cards on time, paying your mortgage rents on time, paying even your rent on time. Those kind of things, if you miss it with the rent, at least it's gonna negatively affect. But anything like a credit card, anything like a mortgage, car payment, installment
loans, personal
yeah,
loans, car payment.
You want to make sure that you're paying those things on time. Why? Because
that furniture you got that you really can't afford, but you want to stunt.
35%. That's 35% of the credit score. Now, next biggest piece. Did you want to add anything, Z?
So payment history is important. I know a lot. With this pandemic, guys, I know for a fact there's so many people that, things happen. People lost their jobs. People got laid off. There's so many things that happened that made people miss this big piece of their credit score. And the thing is this, guys, like, if you know there's a problem, there's something that you have to do about it to get rid of it. It's not going to go away by itself. So uninstalling Credit Karma, uninstalling Credit Sesame, turning off unsubscribe on the Experian credit score because you don't want to see it is not going to fix it. And you may not need it now. Maybe now you caught up on some bills and you just have some collections. This is not going to go away. This is the biggest piece of your score. You can have everything else perfect. If you have that payment history, guess what? Your score is going nowhere. You're not going to get approved by lenders. They look at you as if you do not have the ability to pay back what you're trying to borrow. This shows how responsible you are. Maybe something happened in your life. Everybody knows this. Things happen. People lose their job. People get sick. They have medical bills, etc., etc. But what are you going to do to fix it? You're going to talk to me and Angel because we're going to help you with that. But guys, there's a way to go ahead and fix that. And also, I know sometimes you're like, I cannot pay this, all these cards. I keep trying to pay like $200 to pay them down. At least pay the minimum. Those $25, at least pay it every single month. You know why? Because at least you'll never miss a payment. Because for you to try to go ahead and take that off, once it hits 30 days, it's bad. Once it hits 60 days, it's really bad. Once it hits 90 days, it's terrible. And if you get charged off, hello, they're going to be calling you, emailing you. They're going to be sending you smoke signals to get their money. And it's like, this is a huge part of your credit score. All right, next part. I'm going to stop preaching. I'm going to start preaching. We're preaching out here. What's the next part? The next part is
30%. So that 30% is going to be credit utilization. So Angel, what is utilization? This word, this huge word that starts with a U, right? Utilization is just that, use, credit usage. What that means, guys, is if you have let's just say my easy example I like to use is credit cards. Let's just say you have a credit card with a limit of $1,000, right? You only want to use 30%. So you only want to use, in this sense, in this case, with the $1,000 limit, only use $300
Guys,
because
my 8-year-old is learning about fractions. I know I made this close to the 850, but we're just gonna go with it.
if you go over
300
that,
out
you're
of
gonna max
1,000,
it out.
30%. You guys got me?
Yes,
Now, if your credit limit is $200,
30%. It's about 60
Angel,
bucks.
what's 30% of 200?
It's about 60 bucks. Nothing. It's about
Equals $60.
Mhm.
Now, I'm gonna give y'all extra tips. Because people say, oh, utilization. I paid off my card. Real quick. And I looked at my credit card statement. And I was like, listen, I do credit restoration. I help my clients. I tell them what to do. I guide them. I give them spiritual prayer. I'm like, God, help them with that credit because they want to buy their house. Help them with the credit because they live in a ghetto place and they need to get in a better area for their kids. But you know what? Those statements, you guys need to read your statement. I have a card that is due on the 15th, right? Every month, I got it on auto pay. I know it gets paid in full. Auto pay. I don't even think about it, right? I pay for it. I'm gonna take it a day or two, and then the limit's back on my card. Perfect. But what's the last day of your statement cycle? The last day of my statement cycle is not the 15th. When I do a full payment, the last day is the 21st. So from the 15th to the 21st, if you use your card and you use out of 200, you use 150,
maxing it out, close to getting maxed.
you're maxing out your card. You gotta pay attention to the details. I know this is a bad saying, but the devil's in the details. That's how they get you in the fine print. You want to make sure if your goal is to go ahead and buy a house, get a car, and you need to prompt to work on your credit, you need to look at the details of your statement, guys. And not only that, like Angel was saying before, so you're paying payments on something, and you know there's some interest, but what's that interest? Is it 2%? Is it 0% because you had a promotion, or are you paying 24% for a credit card? So out of every $100 you pay, only 75 is going towards the balance. I mean, you guys have to look at the details. It's very important. It's not just something that we're preaching, it's something that is reality. And you think, how do the wealthy people, how do they get more money? How are they able to get investments? How are they able to go ahead and leverage their credit to make investments in property and other businesses? What they do is they know what this is. This is called the adult report card.
I say that all the time. Adult report card.
Angel, what do they use your credit for? Let's just make a little list of what your credit is used for. I'm just gonna do random bullets and let's see if we can fill it out.
To buy a home.
Home, all right.
To get a credit card. Sometimes even to get a job, like a banking job. I had helped a woman. She was trying to get hired at Capital One, and it was Capital One? No, it was Chase Bank. She was trying to get hired at Chase Bank, and she was at first kind of worried about that credit check, because if you work in a bank, I'm sure that Z works in the bank, I'm sure they're going to run your credit.
Yeah. In the financial industry, they run your credit check and they will not approve you.
To
I
get
remember when I used to work for Wells Fargo back in the day, and I had a young lady. She was very sweet, very intelligent. She was a single mom of two twin girls. They're so cute. I remember till this day. I was a part-time teller. That's where I started. Guess what? She was like, man, I gotta take my credit. And I was like, I was working part-time teller. I still did not know. I did not understand credit. I said, what do you mean? Why do you have to fix your credit? Girl, I gotta fix my credit because if not, I can't get my promotion and be a banker. What? I was like, are you serious? She said, yes. Part of you getting promoted is that you have to work on your credit.
Crazy.
And if your credit is not where it's supposed to be, they won't promote you and they'll help you so they can try to help you to work on your credit to get where it needs to go. So then you can get your promotion. It's
Crazy.
your job. It's
Promotion.
important. They need to know if you're credible. Payment history. Do you know how to control yourself and make sure that you're responsible? Utilization. Are you impulsive? Do you keep shopping online on Fashion Nova where you don't need to be? You need to pay down your debt. All right, Angel, let me not go off.
Next
What's
one.
the
Yeah.
next thing that we
She's
do?
on fire today, guys. Okay. She's on fire. She's on fire. Ziza Sash, just so y'all know. I'm just kidding. She's on
Sagittarius,
fire.
Sagittarius. All right, what's next?
All right.
I'm ready
Loans.
too.
Loans. To get loans.
Loans. All right, what type of loans do people typically try to acquire?
Auto loans,
Yeah, auto,
personal loans, business loans.
personal. Oh, I know my writing is sideways times, but I have a bad shoulder, so we're gonna have to abbreviate this. So loans, we got auto loans. Guess what? If your car is breaking down and you need a new car, and I've been here before, man, let me tell you how I could not get approved for a car. They were like, you know how they tell you, hey, we're gonna go ahead and submit an application to like a couple banks. Next thing you got like 20 inquiries. I'm like, are you really serious? Like y'all said a couple, you just have to say 20. And plus, you can arrange for like one and know that I will not get accepted to the other 19. But that's besides the point. The point is, how can you get approved for a car? Not even with a high down payment, which I didn't even have the extra money to do it. I was a single mom working 3 jobs, falling asleep, dropping off my daughter at school. I could not afford a big down payment, but my credit was so bad. They wanted lots of credit. Who does that? You can't do that. Okay, anyways, personal loans. What do you need personal loans for, Angel?
Personal loans. If you need to fix, maybe you might want to fix something on your house, or a major emergency. If you need money fast, you might need a personal loan for that.
Absolutely. I see clients every day. Something came up. What happened? Even with this virus, guys, I know that this specific bank that I will not name, they did special loans for the clients specifically because they knew that during the pandemic, if they lost their job or if they got reduced hours or if they worked like a server or bartender in the service industry, relying on tips, those businesses got shut down. And guess what, guys? People with bad credit could not get these loans. Even if they need it, it did not matter. They had to have good credit because the adult report card, they know you're gonna pay them back. Even if right now your hours are reduced, they know you've been on point with your payment history. They know you don't overuse on your credit cards. How is somebody supposed to give you a loan when you have all your credit cards maxed out? It's like, how is somebody supposed to give you a scholarship out of high school when you got straight F's? You guys have to think, in an emergency, that something comes up and I do not have the extra cash. Look at the statistic. Most people don't even have $500 in their emergency savings if something were to happen. And guess what? That's it. They're stuck. They lose their homes. So many people would have not lost their homes in 2008 with a crash if they had $500 extra. Guys, you need to have good credit. If an emergency happens, you don't have the cash, you can get a personal loan and you'll work it out. You can't do it if you have bad credit. Business. What did I say in the beginning of this Night Owl Talk show? Most people that have money have a business because you're gonna tell the business, I'm gonna pay myself 3 stacks this week. Bam, 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 print. Deposit at the bank. Let me get cash. Straight hundreds. All right, cool. Guess what you have to do to start a business? You need money. If you're living paycheck to paycheck and you want to start a business and you're brilliant and you have potential and you have a team that's going to make it, if you can't even get a business loan to fund your business because you have bad credit, you're going nowhere. How are you going to go ahead and pay for all the things that you need to pay for your business? No matter what kind of business it is. Music studio, you need cash. Plumbing business, you need materials. Construction, you need materials. If you want to do nails, you need to buy your nail polish and all the stuff you need. You can't do nothing without having a credit. And even if they're, let's say, oh, if I got bad credit, you've heard Angel. Have you heard of those loans for people that have bad credit?
Shark loans. I have.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Payday loans, shark loans, payday loans with those astronomical interest rates that will
You're
give
not
you a
gonna
heart
pay down.
attack
You're
if
like,
you didn't knew what that meant. Guys, when you're paying like interest, let's just say I had a gentleman, now this wasn't a loan per se, but it was just to conceive the notion. Like if you have let's just say $100, right? And you need a loan for 100. So once they're trying to charge you 25% interest on that $100. Now, instead of paying that person back $100, you have to pay them back $125. That's 25% of that balance. So you can see how that starts to accumulate super fast, how that can get really, really expensive really, really fast. If you have to pay 100, you're asking for 100, but you have to pay back 125. That means you're putting yourself in a hole $25 just for borrowing that money. So let's just say let's take it up a notch, right? I'm not like a beast on math, but let's just say if it was $1,000, right? Instead of paying 25, now you have to pay 200 and I want to say 250 bucks, something like that on that. So you got to pay back a total of $1,250 when you use originally only 1,000. So it's important to know what an interest rate is and how you can get that down.
I remember back in the day, before I started my business, when I was just bartending and doing gigs, and that was my business. It wasn't official, it wasn't registered. I was like, man, if they need a bartender, I'm there. I'm about to make some money. I'm leaving with cash tonight. I'm putting it in my account tomorrow, and I'm gonna pay my bills, or I'm gonna get my nails done, or whatever I wanted to do. I'm gonna go shopping with my baby girl. We're going to Children's Place. I love that store. They got good sales. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna spoil her. But I would get the payday loan, guys. Let me tell you something. Payday loans are a blessing and a curse. The day you get paid is the day you're going to be broke. It's a hole. It's a cycle. You ever seen the recycle sign? It's a cycle. You borrow 100, you owe 125. You don't have that 125. Next time you borrow 125, then you owe 25% more. Then you owe 25% more. And then what happens? Eventually you can pick it up. You're gonna have AmStock calling you 24/7 in English, Spanish, Chinese, and Creole. They're gonna call you because they want their money. And you dug yourself in a hole that you can't get out of. Why? Why can't you just get a regular personal loan?
Because of credit.
Because they got bad credit.
It's important, guys. Another thing is just financing things like furniture, financing things like appliances, rent, of course, they run your credit. So it's important to go ahead and have that. Even sometimes to turn on, I didn't even know this until I got my first apartment, but they run your credit to see if you got to pay a deposit when you turn on your electricity. Thank God I didn't have to pay a deposit, but there's people who have to pay $250, $500, just to get their electric turned on. And they wonder why. Some people, because we're so ingrained to believe that bad credit is just a normal thing and paying all this extra money is a normal thing, like people will pay that out, $200. They didn't know, and you don't know what you don't know, but they don't know that there's a better way. There's a different way. You don't have to pay every time you go to turn on your electric, every time you go to turn on, those major utilities. So it's important to know that, guys.
Guys, let me tell you about the story. I told some of my business partners yesterday. Guys, I lived in Carroll City. And if you guys are from Broward, y'all know what I'm talking about. Carroll City. Listen, I heard about Carroll City when I was in 2nd grade. And all the little boys that came from Carroll City, oh my God, they did not want to live there. But they were proud of coming to Carroll City. You know why? Because it was not easy to live there. And for them to be in school and for them to do the right thing, they had to fight. what was around them. Guys, I lived in Carroll City in a ghetto, ghetto place, okay? My neighbor was a prostitute underneath. I'll go downstairs and I never saw her working in the day, but she'll always have the same dress, guys. Same dress. And then at night, she would look like a complete because I was naive. But then I
What were you
realized
saying? The last part, you said she looked like a completely different
a
lady.
completely different lady because she picked herself up at night to work. Guys, I remember the times when I would be taking my daughter to school and daycare, and I would have random people say, "Hey, let me get a ride," and try to jump in my car. Why? Because I had bad credit. I couldn't just go to a regular apartment and with a nice little showing and get approved. No, 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 no. I had to pay 3 times the deposit. Oh, y'all can't see that. I need to make sure I accentuate this. 3 times the deposit, and I paid 1,300 to live there.
Oh, hell no. Sorry.
My point, guys, it was so bad. I had to talk to the landlord to pay my rent weekly because I was 1 week behind. So I promised to pay every single week when I would bartend and make extra money after all my other bills were paid. Because I had bad credit. I could have lived in a great area, but I didn't know about credit. I said, you know what? I got the cash. I'll pay the 3 times 1,300. I'll pay you every week I have cash. Don't look me for that. It's like 3 jobs. It was ridiculous.
That's a,
If I had good credit, I could have lived in a very nice area, gated community, which now I do, thank you, Jesus. But
amen.
my credit is way better. Why? Because I learned my adult report card. I got it on point. I used to get straight A's in school and nobody taught me the formula. But guess what? Me and Angel are putting you guys on. So take notes.
15% is the next piece. I know she's preaching to y'all right now. We love
I'm
it.
preaching, guys. I'm very passionate about this.
15%.
15%.
The next half. So what this is length of credit history. What does length of credit history mean? So someone mentioned earlier, we was listening to an event and they said that, and let me know if you guys are familiar with this saying, credit cards are the devil. So if you get them, you cut them. Once you pay them off, you close out the account, cut up the card. That's wrong information. Because here's the deal. Whenever you have a length of credit history, that means that for a while, for an extended period of time, you did that 35%, did that payment history, paying that on time. So when you close out a credit card or when you close out a card, that actually drops your credit score. 15% of your credit score is your length of credit history. And how that is calculated in regards to like the years, it's really an average. So let's just say, guys, if you had a credit card for 10 years, right? Now you have 10 years of credit history. But if you go tomorrow, you get another card, when the credit scores update, when the credit scores update, you're going to then see that you only have 5 years of credit history. And why is that? It's because you had the one card for 10 years, and you got the second card you just got. So it's an average. 10 divided by 2 is 5. You want to make sure that you're keeping your accounts open even after you pay them off. And you're going to put a little gas on there, put a little groceries on there, put something on there and then pay it off the following month. Because if you don't, the banks will force close your accounts and it's still going to negatively affect your credit score. So 15% is length of credit history. Z?
Guys, this goes again with, okay, when lenders want to lend you some money, guess what they're going to do, guys? They're going to look at your credit, right? This again goes into you being a responsible adult and having your report card on point. You're paying on time for a long time, right? On the 150 payments you made on that credit card, plus the car loan, plus that, the furniture loan, all of them were on time. Doesn't matter if you paid an extra $1, an extra $500. All that matters is you paid it on time when it was due, period. Utilization under 30%, length of credit history. If they see you that you just got 2 years of credit history, right? And you're trying to get $100,000 loan. Do you think that they could trust you with $100,000 loan if you only got 2 years of paying on time versus someone who has 10 years of paying on time? Who would you lend it to?
10
This is
years.
why this is on here.
Yep.
Length of credit history. Not only are you on point with your payment history and utilization, but you've been doing this for a while. You can show, listen, I've been
Experience.
looking at my job for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I've been having my card open paying on time for 10 years. I'm never
I
gonna
need this
pay about on
100,000
time.
right now. I'm just kidding.
Yes, man. Because the thing is this, guys, here's a hack I'm about to put y'all on, so y'all better take some notes. Let me tell you how the people do it who are wealthy and who pass down this financial literacy and education to their family, to their children and their children's children. Because guess what? They don't teach this in school. So how the heck do these people know about this so young? I've seen a 19-year-old.
Ooh, I think I know this tip. I love this
Young
tip.
man's on point. And I said, young man, Mr. John Smith. I love that name. Pocahontas, guys, Disney fans, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, how the heck you have a 739 credit score? He's like, I just have one card. And I'm looking at him like, for what, like 2 months? You just turned 18. He said, no, my dad put me on his cards for like the last 3-4 years.
So
he added him on as the authorized user.
So for you guys who didn't hear,
Added
because
the gun.
it got a little blurry when you were saying that, but she said he got added as an authorized user. For y'all who didn't hear, go ahead, Z.
Yeah, so being an authorized user, you can add your kids on, or let's say, because I know you guys, your family, when you get that text, yo, what are you doing? Nothing much, just got off work, about to go cook some dinner. Oh, what's up? Yo, I'm at the car dealership, you know, I'm looking at this really nice Scion, you know, I'm looking at this Chevy, this Toyota, I don't know which one to pick. Oh, like, what car are you getting? Well, I'm so excited. I can't wait to go out with you. We're gonna go to this and this place. We're gonna have so much fun. But I need a favor though. I'm thinking already, oh, this person needs money. Guys, how about you give them the money for the down payment, then co-sign straight up, because at least you know you'll never get that money back. But your credit will not get affected. Do not co-sign for somebody, guys. Period. There's no excuse. Okay?
Yeah.
Do not co-sign for anyone, because if they do not pay and they're not responsible and their adult report card is on the floor, what makes you they're going to take care of your credit by going ahead and having you on their line of credit?
Yep.
This boy, he knows, well, my dad added me on for a certain reason, so guess what, his credit's already good. So when he goes and applies, guess what? He doesn't need a co-signer. His credit's good enough.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have to think about these things. You're not helping somebody by co-signing for them. You're helping them by referring them to me or Angel, so we can go ahead and help them to fix their credit, so they can learn the formula and get their adult report card on point.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you guys, even from my life, my dad, he had to take that journey by himself, but he was wise enough to know, like, I'm gonna add my daughter on to my card. I was an authorized user on his MasterCard. When I got my car had got totaled, my first car was totaled, so my second car I had to get a loan for it. And at first we're going in thinking, we had to do the co-signer thing, but by the grace of God and because of my dad's wisdom, I only had to pay, I want to say it's like 4% on my vehicle. It was like between 4 and 6% on my car, right? So when I think about that, and my payment was only like $200 a month for the vehicle. But there's people who we help. Someone, for example, a couple years back, about last year, came to me and he said that he was trying to get a vehicle and they were trying to charge him 25% interest for a vehicle. And I'm like, oh, that's a hell of a lot of money. That's like 4 times the amount that I was paying.
And not only that, they have a high payment. So they're like, man, I'm paying for $500. $500.
Not including the insurance. And that's another thing. Insurance is also affected by the credit score. Go ahead, Z.
Yes, that is a point. Guys, I'm a attest to it. Because y'all know I used to have terrible credit. Mama didn't teach me about nothing. She didn't even know how to have a credit card. Guys, my auto, I'm just preaching real quick. My auto payment went from almost close to $300. And I'm gonna give y'all a hat. Now I pay 125 because of my credit. And I didn't get to an accident because that's part of that population. But it's less than half of what I used to pay because my credit went up.
Hmm.
They want to see that you're responsible enough. Your adult report card for your job, for your insurance, to get loans, to buy a house. You guys see the trend? Like, do you see the trend? Adult report card. It counts for a lot of things.
One thing, another good tip that I want to give to you guys. Now, this one, you have to use it with precaution. You got to have discipline and you got to have self-control. But another way in regards to this length of credit history, if you have discipline, if you don't have discipline, don't use this. But another thing that you can do is, let's just say if you've been paying your stuff on time for a while, your credit card or whatever, you can go ahead and request a credit increase on your credit line, right? Mm-hmm. So let's just say, for example, right, your original limit is, I don't know, 5,000, right? And you continue to keep paying that on time, you can request a credit increase. Some banks, they'll automatically increase you, which is kind of dangerous. But sometimes you can go in there, you can request an increase. So now what happens, remember that 30%, that utilization, your utilization changes. You go from using 30% of 5,000, right, versus 30% of 10,000, which means that utilization is going down. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to pull up these numbers right now so you guys can understand what I'm saying. But go ahead, Z.
Don't judge my writing, guys. I'm trying to be perfect, but no one's perfect.
I'm going to get these numbers so you guys can understand what I'm saying right now. Hold on.
So if you're going to go ahead and use $100, your limit is $100, and you use $10 out of 100, that's 10%. Now, if you use $10 out of $10,000 credit limit, guess what? That utilization went down. Mm-hmm. So when your line of credit on your credit card increases, that does not mean that you're gonna use more. That means you continue, business as usual. Whatever bills you have to pay them regularly. Mm-hmm. I tell plenty of times my clients, hey, if you're gonna go ahead and use this card and you're trying to establish credit that you don't have any credit cards, life hack, guys, life hack 101. Pay your cell phone bill. Leave the card at home. You don't need to use it if you know you're irresponsible and you want to build credit because someday you want to move out your mama's house. Guess what? Put that card home, put it on auto pay. Auto pay your phone to the card, auto pay your bank account to pay the card. Boom. You're not doing anything. You're not using anything else. You're not going shopping. Make it simple. Kids, keep it simple and sweet, guys. Mm-hmm. Kids.
So in that instance, right, 30% of 5,000 is 1,500. You're not going to use more than that. And the other example with the 10,000, 30%, 3,000, you're not going to use more than that. But let's just say if you only use 1,500 in general, right? 1,500 with the 5,000, you have what? 3,500 left. But if you have 1,500 of 10,000, you have $8,500 left. So you have a little more wiggle room, but it still brings down that utilization because your limit is higher. So I hope that makes sense. But if you have good credit and you got discipline, like what she was saying, don't go crazy. Go ahead and increase the limit, but just keep that spending the same. It's going to boost your credit score.
Exactly. And guys, you know what? I know a lot of people, especially a lot of my clients, existing and previous and whenever I met them in my lifetime. Guys, a lot of people say, I don't want to cards. And I'm like, pause, time out. Why? Because I don't want to get in debt because I don't know how to control myself. And, I like to buy Jordans. Girl, I like to get my hair done and my nails done every single week. Hold up. You need to practice self-control. Because if you don't, you're always going to be renting and paying somebody else's mortgage or loan on whatever commercial building you're renting. Mm-hmm. You guys have to do this. It's like I tell my daughter, girl, if you don't practice your ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, you're never going to learn to read and you're never going to learn math. You don't practice your fractions, you're never going to get better at it. So you got to start somewhere. There are resources out there. Me and Angel are resources as well. If you guys are watching this video after it's live, guess what? You have resources. Scroll through our page, look at some free information. Reach out to us. We give free consultations. We're here to help. But the thing is, if you don't get this under control and if you don't figure this out, you're going to be in the maze like the rats going around and around, looking for the cheese, and you're never going to get it.
Next 10%. The next 10%, guys, is going to be installment loans versus revolving loans. So what that means, creditors typically want to see 2 and 2, at least 2 and 2. But if you can't do that, at least have 1 and 1. What does that mean? Installment loan is going to be a mortgage loan, an auto loan. That means that there's a particular term, so length of time set on that loan. And usually it's the same every month. So for example, back to my car payment, that is an installment loan. I was paying $200 for 6 years. Every month I knew I was going to pay that $200. Revolving credit is going to be like a credit card because it changes, right? You can be spending more one month. You can be spending a little bit less another month. The amount might change. And there's no set term on a credit card, because if you continue to keep using it, there's people out there who have had credit cards, the same credit card for 10 years, like she mentioned earlier, right? So you want to have a balance. You don't want to be having too many credit cards. Like I ran into someone the other day. He said he got like 5 separate credit cards. And I said, wow. He said it gets confusing. I said, I bet it does get confusing. That's a lot of credit card payments to keep up with. But you want to make sure that you're keeping a balance, right? Balance between that installment, balance between that revolving loan. What else you want to add to that, Z?
So guys, just like I just love giving metaphors so people have more of an understanding as to why. And so let's look at it this way. When you apply for college, on your application, what do you put? Man, I'm gonna tell you what I put in high school because I was on point in high school. I graduated top 10%. Praise God. Anyways, I was in the TV production club. Man, I was the treasurer. I was handling out money, even though it was just, a little bit of money, but still, I was so proud. I would go to the film festivals and the competitions. I would be in marching band. Man, I was working out. I had a 6-pack in that day because those tenor saxophones were heavy. Man, I would be in SGA, student government. Man, I had shown diversity in my college application. And in your application for someone to give you their money and to trust you with their money, you have to show that you're diverse and you're able to go ahead and handle whatever you're thrown at. Hey, revolving credit cards. Every month you give me a $10,000 limit, whether I use $9,000 and pay it in full, or I use $10 and pay it in full. You could trust me with that. Installment loans. I made a promise that for 60 months, I'm always going to pay you the $230 car payment that I have for a balance. What did I borrow? Oh, $25,000 car. You can trust me with 25. I made a promise I'll pay 60 months of it. $230 is yours every single month. There's no way that I'm missing a payment. There's no way that I'm going to go ahead and shorten my credit history by not paying it and then getting a repo. Which if you do have, again, refer to me and Angel, we got you. But you can trust me with $25,000. I'm going to pay at the time that I told you. I can keep my promise. Real estate is the big boys. Me and Angel help our clients with different things, adding rental history to their credit. But let's say most people, guys, you can't even add that. Most apartments don't offer that. That's something we offer that we can help you with.
I love the
Let me tell you, all this adds up to 100, right? Example, 100%, right? If you're missing on the test, on the math test, man, you had a 90%. You got an A. Barely an A. you know, 1 point off, you'll get a B. So
Mhm.
yeah, you got an A, but you ain't get an A plus. You need this, you need this, you need this. You need to show diversity in your credit. You need to show that you're responsible with whatever kind of commitment that you make with someone that is financing you. It doesn't matter if they give you $100 credit card and they never gave you that increase, but you had it for 10 years. You showed you were responsible. Doesn't matter if they give you a car payment, you made a promise to pay it for 60 months, you're going to keep your promise. Then when you get into real estate, you're with the big dogs.
Mm.
You got $100,000 mortgage, $1,200 payment. I mean, I'm just doing easy numbers sake. They can rely on you that you're going to go ahead and continue to make those payments on time with a larger finance amount. If you can show all of this, guess what? You have good credit. They'll lend you whatever the heck you want. Doesn't matter what it's for. Even if you want to go ahead and make a tree house.
You said make a tree house?
I never grew up. I'm a kid at heart. You know, I want a tree house one day.
I'm gonna say I'll visit.
The last be dope.
The last 10%, guys, it will be dope. We will have some parties up in there. But last 10% is gonna be inquiries. So the number of inquiries. Z mentioned this earlier when she was talking about when you go to that dealership and they're running your credit score like crazy, talking about we're gonna run it by a few banks, and you say a couple banks and you thought they meant 2, but they meant a couple with a 0 behind it, 20. Every time that you run your credit score, it's an inquiry. It's considered a hard inquiry. If it's a hard inquiry, there's a difference between soft and hard. But let's just say it's an auto loan. It's going to be a hard inquiry. When you're applying for those different things that we had mentioned, those are usually going to be hard inquiries. It's 2 to 5 points per inquiry. So let's just say in the example that she was talking about earlier, 20 banks, 2 to 5 points per bank. On the low end, your score can drop 40
Angel,
points. On the high end,
calculator
drop
real quick.
100 points.
Can you use your calculator real quick?
What's
Let's
that?
say if I have a credit score, it's all right. You know, it's not that bad, but it's not that good. You know, it's okay. Let's say I have a 640. I'm barely there. I could probably get approved for an FHA loan. I could get approved for a credit card, you know, a couple thousand, maybe a couple hundred. All right, you know. Okay, if I go and I try to get a car with a 640 and they go ahead and they do 20 inquiries and they take off 5 points per, how much does that equal? How many total points?
Oh, that's what I was just saying, 100 points. I was just 2 points, 100.
So
that's gonna affect you if it's 2 points on the low end, 40 points. If it's 5 points on the high end, like what she's saying, that's 100 points. And that's what your score will be. One trip to the car dealership.
Guys, a 540 is not a good credit score. If your credit score is all right, got a couple things on there, and you go to the car dealership and get 100 points off, now you got a 540. You're definitely not getting that car. How long do inquiries stay on your credit report, Angel?
Let me say it's up to 2 years. 2 years.
For the next 2 years, you are not going to be driving that Chevy. Straight up. If you don't fix what you got and stop making inquiries, it's not going to make it better if you keep trying. What happened? Guys, if you get straight D's on your report card in high school, you're not going to get accepted to you. That's just what it is. Hey, let's see what happens. You already know you're not going to get accepted. You didn't show that you're responsible enough to get straight A's to be accepted at Yale. They're not going to take you serious. They're going to take you 100 points, and they're not going to take you serious, and nobody else can take you serious because the score went down.
It makes you look like you're desperate for credit when you have all those inquiries on there, guys.
Y'all can be looking thirsty out there. Looking thirsty.
I need a drink. You need some water. I'm just kidding.
I need some juice, guys. I like the juice.
So this right here is the secret sauce. This is the 5 credit factors, the financial literacy that we need, right? So let's talk a little bit about the change because we're getting into the night right now. But let's talk about, we talked about how it looks when things are not too good looking, right? But how has financial literacy, just having that information, how can it change? What can it do for you guys? What can it do? You know, it's so much. It's so much. You know, we have so many testimonials. You know, shout outs to Myra Ferreira. When she first started in this journey, her credit score was at about a 504. I remember because of 504 boys. But she had a credit score of a 504. She walked into that car dealership thinking that she was going to get a vehicle, and she ended up walking right back up out of that car dealership because her credit score wasn't good. With the program, after 4 months, her score jumped into like 700. It was like 716. So what happened? I remember because we took a trip in that vehicle, in that SUV. She came off the lot, drove off the lot, no money down in a nice SUV. After her score jumped up to 714. So it pays to have good credit. Like they say, cash is king, but credit really truly is power. You have more, you'll be able to get along further and have access to more. Just like what Zaji was saying, how do rich people stay rich? They don't use their own money. They leverage other people's money. Using other people's money. Whose money is it? The bank's money, the credit card, the credit card money. But you have to use it wisely. And that's why we do what we do, is because we want to help people to use their money wisely, use that credit wisely.
And guys, so if you're like, what the heck is financial literacy? Y'all keep talking about financial literacy, like I know it's finances and literacy, like what the heck are you talking about? That's reading and that's the other side. Like, what does that have to do with each other? Guys, what we're talking about is you being able to handle the money that you make in a way that you're not in a hole every month, in a way that you're going to teach your kids and your grandkids and the kids and kids and kids and all the generations that, guess what? Doesn't matter where you start. If you spend your money wisely, if you make money wisely, you can get in a better situation.
Mm.
For a fact, Angel right now was not in the same place she was 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Guys, I'm telling you, documentation speaks volumes. Okay? I know for a fact, every year that I do my taxes, I make more money. Every single year. Which the first tax one I did, I was like, dang, I'm pretty broke. I mean, I know I bartended, so I repair all my tips. Sorry, tax guy. But you know what? The struggle was real. But I started trying to learn. And I started changing. I made the decision to change. Man, I remember my aunt told me, she said that there's this city in Puerto Rico, it was a port. And the gentleman there would make so much bread. Puerto Ricans like to stunt, we showing off, buying the jewelry, getting our hair done.
We all like to stunt. Black people like to stunt too.
We love to stunt, man. They would make over $120,000 a year. Gone every weekend. No retirement. Social Security, when they get old after they work so hard and stunted all those years, they get like $700 because they don't know financial literacy, which means to be literate. That means to have understanding of your own finances, guys. If you don't understand what's going on, you're spending 40 hours plus, because I know y'all work like 3 jobs because the struggle is real. How much time do you spend seeing where your money is going? Do you just keep paying bills and you keep being stressed out? Like, guys, there's a statistic that I know from 2 years ago. I know it's way higher now because of COVID. 80% of people stay up at night because they're worried about their finances. Well, guess what? If you have a problem, you need to figure out how to solve it. If you want to live a miserable life, you'll just keep doing the same thing over and over again. It's the definition of insanity. Now, if you make a change, that means you're taking another course. You're taking another path. You're breaking away from the herd. You're going to be able to live a different type of life. Angel, tell me a time when you went ahead and made a decision, or when you started making a couple decisions and people was judging you. It was just like, girl, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, you think you're so high and mighty and blah, blah, blah. Like, girl, tell me a time.
A time having to do with money, or just in general?
Change, period. It could do with money, it could do with personal development, it could do with trying to separate, to elevate, whatever you want to talk about. Tell me about a time about change that was difficult, but you did it anyways.
Okay, where do I start? Well, one change, for example, for me, is just me. I talk about this all the time, just moving down here to Florida. I've been down here, it'll be almost 7 years, guys. But prior to that, I was back home. And prior to that, I actually had lived in Georgia, had to come back home. And I was nervous to come down here to Florida at first, guys. Let me tell you, because I was kind of like, oh my gosh, I failed before. I was in Georgia and now I had to come back to Massachusetts. Am I going to go to Florida and have to get sent back to Mass? So what I do, I literally planned that out. I saved my money up for like 2 years. Okay. 2 years. And I was like, one day I'm moving to Florida. I came down here to Florida one time, visited. I said, one day I'm gonna move to Florida. Saved up my money, 2 years. Told my family that I was gonna leave. Some people agreed with it. Some people didn't. They were like, why would you do that? Massachusetts has the best schools and the best hospitals and this and the third. And I'm like, no, I want the sun and I want to live my purpose. You know, what I feel like I need to be doing. Change. It's not easy. My first year down here was very difficult. It was one of my hardest years, I would say. Lonely years, I should say. But look it, I'm not lonely anymore. I got Z. And I got all you guys. So change is not easy, but sometimes it really is necessary. I would not be the same person. I promise you, I would not be the same person if I would have stayed in Massachusetts that I am now. I would have been a completely different person today if I wouldn't have made the change. So that's just one example.
So I just want to put down some components of change, guys. This is going to be random, but these are going to be the things that the top 3 things me and Angel think is important to start having change. Okay. Angel, you said you failed, but you tried again. Mm-hmm. I like that one. Mm-hmm. You went to Georgia, didn't work out. You know what? Thank God you didn't work out in Georgia, because then you would have never met me. Hello. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So, okay, you might fail. It's okay. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tell you a little story about how I failed. Let me think, because there's so many times. That doesn't mean I'm gonna say, you know, I'm a mess. I'm gonna say that I'm a failure. No. I failed, but I continued. Guys, do you think Elon Musk got where he is because he just had it easy? No, he failed a whole bunch of times and then he made it. Jeff Bezos. It's okay to fail. You think that he just got it easy? He was like, Amazon, boom. No, that's not how it happened. Mm-mm. He failed a whole bunch of times. Maybe it wasn't big fails, it was little fails, but his feelings got hurt. But he had to remove his emotions, have that emotional intelligence, and know that this was just a temporary failure. It is just my present situation. It's not my final destination. You know what I mean? All right, Angel, what's the next one?
First attempt in learning. That's what FAIL stands for.
What's the next one?
No, I was saying FAIL stands for first attempt in learning. So
All right, guys. First attempt in learning, because it's a learning process, guys. When you're changing, that means you're going from point A to point B. And if you were here, and then you go here, and you go down, and you go up, and you go down, and you go up, right? Just like a heartbeat. Does that mean that when you're down, that's it? David Marquez said it himself. On a heartbeat, if you're going up and down, that means you're alive, guys. If you flatline, what does that mean? You're dead. So it's okay to have up and down. That means you're still moving forward. Even if you're stagnant, at least you ain't going back. Keep going. Change is not easy. And there's so many people that have gone through it. You see people on the IG, on the Facebook Live, oh, they're living good, time freedom, they're making bread. Okay, that's all great and dandy. If they have the lifestyle that they have right now, do you think that it was given to them? 9 times out of 10, no. They had to work hard and they had to fail and make a change and continue to make a change to go ahead and get to the next level. All right, what's the next one, Angel?
I had mentioned that it was difficult. change is sometimes it's difficult. It's not easy. It requires a certain level of perseverance, even if it's a small change, like a change in your diet, a change in your lifestyle, a change in your perspective, a change in your mind. Is difficult because you're literally reprogramming or rechanging, redoing, moving things around or eliminating things and adding new things. It's difficult.
Eliminating the old things.
Mhm.
Can you see the bottom?
It says diet, lifestyle, mind, and eliminating.
Okay, guys, these are subtitles, okay? Or what is subtopic? Subtopics, guys. Don't think I'm dumb. Difficult. You have to change your diet.
Yeah.
Man, let me tell you, I love to eat, but I gotta make a change. I've been trying. Sometimes I want the burger. Sometimes I want that panadilla. Sometimes I want that capulla. All that's fried. I can't eat that. It's difficult. My lifestyle. I know back in the day, in my early 20s, I used to party. I used to bartend. I used to be in the Jamaican parties. I used to be in the Latin parties. But
different party every night.
I was bartending, I was promoting, and you know what? I was there to just support my coworkers during their own parties. Guys, I was tired I was exhausted for work the next day. I drank like 3 Red Bulls, and I had to keep eating because I had no energy. Guess what? I could not live that same lifestyle if I wanted to elevate, if I wanted to be an entrepreneur, if I wanted to give my daughter a good life. But guess what? I had to change your mind.
Change.
Guys, me and Angel can go on and on about this. Your mind is your biggest battlefield.
Can you say that again, please, for the people a little bit louder in the back?
Your mind is the biggest battlefield. If you don't get your mind in control, you're not going to change. You're going to be thinking the same. You're going to be acting the same. You're going to keep yourself around the same people that don't want to change. Guys, you have to change. You have to love yourself. I know we talked about that last week. It's important. Guys and ladies, I know so many gentlemen that don't love themselves. They just want to look tough. You guys have to love yourself too, fellas.
Mm-hmm.
You have abilities. You're blessed with skills. In order for you to change, you need to change your mind. You're not going to change. You're not going to evolve. You're not going to grow from the cocoon to the butterfly if you're not going to change your mind. If you're going to keep thinking the same way, you're not going to achieve anything. So it's important that you change your mind and you eliminate all of the negativity, negative friends, negative family. You're gonna have to put them on pause. I know I said this in another episode. There's people you'll spend a 3-day weekend with. Man, I'm going to Disney with my sister and her husband. I'll spend 3 days with them any day. Some people I'll do a 3-hour Zoom. Man, I'm talking to them on the Zoom, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Some people I give them 3 minutes. What do you gotta say? Because I got stuff to do. And there's people that I give them 3 seconds. Hey, all right, I'll see you later. I gotta go because they are not worthy of my time. It's very important. Your mindset, everything else will fall in place. Then you'll be able to change. Okay. One more, Angel. I mean, that was a pretty good one. So I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what I'm gonna say now.
I know the last thing I would say would be experience, because like I said, it was an experience for me, right? A different experience, and then that different experience is changing. Like I mentioned, I wouldn't be the same person. So there was an experience that I had to go through in order to feel that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the thing is this, guys. Sometimes you just have to experience life. Like I said, I would party a lot, guys. I would look for any excuse to go out. My mom kept me really sheltered. Like, I did not know what a party was till I was like 18.
Oh, that girl went crazy, y'all. I'm
bartending. I know all the people. I know all the DJs in Miami. It's gonna be lit. No, guys, experience. Then you see those people in that lifestyle. Not knocking anybody in the lifestyle. You know, kudos to you. But it wasn't for me. I don't want to be around people that are drunk all the time. I don't want to be around people that only focus on the next party and slept all day and didn't enjoy Florida. Guys, we live in the most beautiful beaches in the world, Florida.
Not everybody lives here, though. Not everybody got that privilege. So even still.
Guys,
Even still,
experience. You're gonna learn from your experiences what you like and what you don't like.
yes,
And the only way you can get more of what you like, more of the direction, the lifestyle you want to live, is by change.
yeah,
It's hard. You need to change your experiences by making better decisions.
yeah,
And that's where I'm gonna take it. The first one is your decision. You
yep,
need to make the decision to change.
yep,
If you don't make the decision, you're not going anywhere. You need to sit down. I love writing, guys. Let me tell you, my neighbor from when I was a teenager, like 13, 14, she gave me a notebook and she said, I was the oldest out of six. I was kind of stressed out. I was like assistant mom. Guys, she gave me a notebook so I could write stuff down. And I needed to make decisions. I wanted a turtle. And my mom said if I didn't take care of it, I couldn't get a turtle. So I researched turtles on my flip phone. I put in the screen. Man, I researched. I wrote 3 pages on how to take care of a turtle. Mom, Mom, look, I made notes. I made so many notes. We have to feed them in the morning, and then this and that. I had to make a decision. If I didn't do that, I was not getting my turtle. Guys, decision. If you want to have more financial literacy, if you want to manage your money, if you want to stay away from those negative people that are always complaining, you need to make that decision. You're going to have to make that tough decision because it's not an easy one. You might fail. It might be difficult. You might eliminate stuff you don't want to do. You might have to change a lot of stuff in your life. But if you don't make the decision to,
Mm.
it's not going to happen.
Yep.
Second thing I want to say, you need to be committed.
I mentioned that I had saved up for 2 years for
I
that
might
trip.
have spelled that
Excuse
wrong.
me for that.
Don't mind it.
2 years, I mentioned 2 years that I saved up. I was committed. 2 years I saved up just to get down here on my own. You know what I'm saying? You got to be committed. Got to be committed.
If you are not committed,
It's not going to happen.
you're going to be off path. And I'm going to let you know right now, guys. So many of my leaders, so many of my mentors and Angels mentors as well, say all the time, if you aren't committed, and committed isn't only like, man, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to be on point with my credit. I'm going to be on point with my finances. I'm going to be on point with my friends. I'm getting rid of the negative people. I'm going to just stay around people that are thinking like me. Like, when you go to church, what do they tell you? You got to separate yourself. You can't be with the people of the world, which is people that, don't believe in God, meaning people that don't have morals, people that don't believe in God, people that they have no purpose. You want to be around people that have the same mind that you do.
Yeah.
So you can stay committed.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah.
Even when it's tough, even when you fail, you need to stay committed.
Mm-hmm.
And being committed is, you know what? Just like the credit. I'm committed to making that $235 payment for the next 60 months. And no matter if I'm strapped for money, no matter if I get a speeding ticket, because I love to drive fast.
Me too.
No matter. I need to be committed. And you need to be committed to change. Because it's not going to be easy. You might get like a little breeze of la hookah, the Dominicans like this little hookah. Ooh, I feel like I'm going to go party or bachata. No, you need to stay committed. You made a decision to change your life. You made a decision to achieve certain goals. You're not going to get there, even when it's difficult. Even when you don't want to, guys, I'm going to repeat. Even when you don't want to, you need to stay committed. All right? And lastly, me and Angel love this, is what I'm doing right now. You got to write down what you're going to do.
That's a good one.
If you don't write this stuff down, guys, it's going to go like my mama used to say. You're going to look yourself in the mirror and be like, gee, we got to change. You got to stop going to the clubs. You just next day. Yo, you want to go out? Yo, let's go. Uh-oh. No. My vision board says I can't go out, guys. But if you want to go to like a financial literacy, Zoom, let's do it. But I can't do no more, man. I'm changing my life. I I'm not a plumber anymore, guys. I'm sorry. But you know, if you want to get your credit fixed, holla at me.
They want to change. They don't want to change quick. They want to change. Yeah, we'll go.
That you gotta write this stuff down, make it visible. I know I used to watch. You remember the show that had Gabrielle Union and she was like
Yeah.
a host on a TV show.
Oh,
And
Jamie Foxx?
no, it was a
That's
different.
okay.
It
That's
was about
Francesca.
Union, and she had like a boyfriend or whatever, and a family, and then okay. Anyways, if y'all know what show I'm talking about, put it in the comments. If not, DM me and let me know because I want to watch that show again. It's on Netflix. Anyways, she has sticky notes everywhere. Oh, remember last week? Oh, I got the sticky notes again. Guys, put it in places that are visible.
If I wish I could turn this computer. You guys could see my sticky note board.
Guys, you need to write it down and put it somewhere visible. I have my agenda and I bring it with me everywhere. Not because I like carrying extra stuff, because my mom, she used to love having 50 bags everywhere. Nah, because I want to make sure that if I think about, oh, I gotta do this, I'm gonna write it down.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a great idea, I'm gonna write it down.
Yeah.
Hey, this is an easier way that I can do this. You know what? Let me do this first and then that because I want to change. I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna make a plan. Make it real and concrete. So it's
Write
not
it
just
down,
a
make a
thought.
plan.
You are making it physical. And when you read it and you review it, and you go back and say, how was last week? You can have progress. Change is about moving forward. No matter if you mess up a trip, no matter if you fail, no matter how difficult it is, make that decision, stay committed, and write it down and make a plan, guys.
Yep. It says it in the good book. Write the vision down, make it plain. So listen, it's getting late into the night. I hope that y'all found some value from this. Z, do you want to add anything real quick? She's been schooling us tonight, right, y'all? The woman with the whiteboard is killing it. She's killing it.
Guys,
She's killing
you know
it.
what?
Any questions from the audience?
Thursday.
Let's see.
Oh, you got questions?
I don't have any
I was
questions.
getting nervous on this part.
No, I don't look like we have any questions, which is surprising.
They're just taking notes. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm. Listen, do you want to add anything, Queen?
No, guys, just stay tuned next week. We've been speaking to you like parents over here, but we have love for you, our little night owls.
Mm-hmm. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So listen, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this episode. This is our educational portion, right? Next week, we're having a guest. I hope the Queen is still on. I hope she's still watching, but if she's not, it's cool. I'm about to put her on the spot anyways. Next week, we're going to have the boss queen herself. This woman is starting an empowerment, a ladies empowerment movement, and it's starting here in Florida. But she has a vision, and we support that vision 1,000%. She's gonna move that movement. It's gonna grow from Tampa to Miami to California. It's gonna be the ladies empowerment movement. But the founder of this is none other than boss lady, boss queen, Miss Erica Serrano herself. So listen, guys, Erica Serrano is going to be in the building next week on Night Owl Talk. So I know you guys want to see her drop these nuggets. So please come back and join us. We will post the location. We'll let you know the location of where to find the page, where to find your Night Owl Talk show. We appreciate you for coming on tonight and just sticking with us. We know we went a little bit long, but that's okay. This knowledge really, truly is power if you use it. Applied knowledge is power, like they say, like our good mentor says. So guys, this has been Z, the Jesus, and Angel White, your Night Owl Talk. We'll see y'all next week.
See you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.